up, guys? So in this section, I wanted to talk to you guys about how I went pro and some of the things I did intentionally and unintentionally that might have helped me get here. So I wanted to start off with, just the beginning. Public servers, sharing a computer with my brothers. So yes, at the beginning, I have two older brothers. My oldest brother downloaded a beta of Counter-Strike and was playing with the only computer we had in the house with some of his friends. Now, this was a big part for me because I think wanting to beat my older brothers was one of the early motivations. So later in the course, I'll talk more about motivations and getting better with your attitude. So that was one of my early motivations. Simple, pure, just trying to beat my older brother. I think you guys, it's important to notice that you need some kind of motivation and knowing what you want out of playing. Whether you want to join and go pro or whether you just want to make a team for fun. Now, obviously at this time, I just wanted to play for fun and play with my older brother. So this is consisting of me sneaking into his room and just trying to get better, just playing literally public servers back in the day. There was no matchmake when I first started Counter-Strike, and you had to use something called IRC, Internet Relay Chat, to try to coordinate with other people to play once you actually even got to that level. So at first I was just playing public servers with my older brother, playing, just literally any mod, jump maps, surf maps. I don't even know if those are out yet, but 2 vs 2, crazy maps. One of my favorite maps back in the day was DE Rats. You were the size of a rat in a giant kitchen. Was one of my favorite maps of all time. And so it was just having fun. So guys, remember at first the key to progressing is just finding the joy in CS. And then, realizing how competitive you are, what you want out of it. So start with the fun. Don't put too much pressure on yourself and then figure out what you want out. After that, one of the pivotal parts of me going pro, and I'm going to expand on in the next video, is just LAN centers, is going to LANs and interacting with people. Now, depending on where you live, that might not be as viable. So at the end of this section, I'm going to talk about some ways you could approach networking and socializing with people in other ways, in the current scene. So the reason I want to bring that up is because I think it's very important to network and socialize. It's not all about just getting good on your own and just magically one day you get an offer. You have to build friendships and network and play with players at your skill level or higher if you want to progress and get better, guys. So yeah, key for me early on was LAN centers. My first LAN was actually I was brought at 12 years old with my brother, and it was a local San Diego LAN league. San Diego is where I grew up, and I remember getting to ring against this team on Dust 2, and I remember how insanely satisfying it was just because I got this op double kill when they pushed off Catwalk. And I just remember outside as a little kid, it was so fun for me because I remember standing out front, the other team talking about the double kill in this round, and then they realized that I was such a young kid, and it was the coolest feeling for me, and that was really the start of kind of ego, but also just fun, the pure fun of competing for me to realize I could beat someone and hear him talk about it, and all those little things were fun for me. So you got to find things that motivate you, and for me it was just literally beating someone else and having fun and networking and socializing, because then we got to hang out with all these guys after. Alright guys, so next up we'll talk about joining teams, playing at LANs, and that sort of thing.